IVM.
Hey, if you like this show, then you should definitely check out another show on the IVM podcast network called Paisa Vaisa. It's a show hosted by Anupam Gupta that will clear all your personal finance doubts. From mutual funds to loans to SIPs, new episodes are out every Monday.
Hi guys, what's happening? Welcome to IVM Likes, another great episode. Here with me in the studio is Rutika Yolekar.
Hello.
And Abbas Momin.
Hi.
Can I make a request?
Yes, please.
Can you stray away from my surname?
You want me to retake that?
No, just don't say my surname.
I don't think you pronounced it correctly.
Nobody does.
Nobody does.
Okay, can you just say it again?
Yolekar.
I said correctly, dude. I said Yolekar.
Okay.
Like egg yolk, but Yolekar.
Yolekar.
Yeo. Okay.
Okay, guys, welcome to Rutika Yolekar and Abbas Momin, my fellow IVM producers. We have a great episode today ahead.
Already? You know it already?
Yeah, I know it's going to be a great episode because the topic that we're talking about today is what we like to call rabbit hole actors.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't think of another term for this. So these
Guys, this is where you pay attention to what he said. It's rabbit hole actors.
Yeah.
Correct. Exactly. So actors who you discovered, and because of you like them in this one particular project or movie or TV show, you checked out everything that they did, or at least most of their other projects, and you really like them or admire them in some form or the other. And so that's in the second half of this episode. And the first half of this episode, as normal, we will be giving you some awesome recommendations to some cool pop culture stuff that we think you should be definitely checking out.
Yes.
All right. Who would like to start? Ritika?
Okay.
Yolekar.
Yolekar.
Now you're going to keep saying it, aren't you?
Okay. No, I think you'll get YouTube comments.
I already get a lot. I got some love from Mahesh on our YouTube episode.
Hey, you should send IVM an email with the actual pronunciation of your surname.
No,
like
it's
how
fine.
Kalki Kekla did.
Okay, so since you mentioned her, my recommendation includes her.
Wow.
Yes.
What are the
Great
odds?
segue.
What are the odds, dude? Wow.
So she did a travel show on Fox Life. It was premiered on Fox Life with her father.
Oh, firstly, let's tell the audience Kalki Kekla is Kalki Kochlin because that's the normal pronunciation of that name.
Wait, who's Kalki's dad?
Joel Keklin.
Okay.
it's
And is he a travel writer?
Keklin nahi hai yaar, Kekla hai.
Kekla,
no,
whatever.
he's not a travel writer.
So what the hell was he doing hosting a travel show?
He's not hosting it. So
Okay.
he is traveling
Sorry.
with her and
Oh,
Kalki
okay.
is hosting it.
Oh, so
but
I think
it's-
this is like it's a horrible thing to say. It's like a deathbed thing, I think. Like,
What's the, let me show my dad everything before he passes away.
Yeah, correct.
No, it's not that.
Okay, it's not that.
Her dad is very, very fit and healthy,
nice.
so he's not like dying or something.
So you're recommending the show?
Yeah, so let
Okay.
me tell you a little bit about the show. It premiered in 2016 and now it's available on Hotstar.
Okay.
And the reason why I loved the show so much is because not just because she's traveling with her dad, but because they both take like a Himalayan, not a Himalayan expedition, but like an expedition of the Northeast. Okay. And on a Royal Enfield, they cover almost 4,000 kilometers.
On a Royal Enfield?
Yes,
Wow.
both of them.
Yeah, that's cool.
But is this like one episode explores the Northeast or the series
I imagine
on the
It's
whole?
multiple episodes.
So the series on the whole is about the Northeast.
the whole series
Okay.
is on the Northeast.
Is it ongoing right now or is it over
No,
completely?
it's over.
Okay.
And there's like different, they explore Assam, they explore Meghalaya, they explore Arunachal.
Huh.
What I really loved about the show is because as the show progresses and they discover these new things and explore and go eat the local food and everything, Kalki's relationship with her dad also goes through changes.
Oh, I like that.
And as much as it's a reality show, like it seems like a not a reality show, but like a show that's just an ongoing.
Yeah.
You can actually see the transition between those two and the kind of comfort that they share.
Or maybe they're just really good actors.
Not really. The father
Maybe she
doesn't
gets her
seem
acting
like.
skills from somewhere.
The father is not as great as an actor, I think, but it's really like it's fun. And I discovered a band because of the show.
Okay.
I mean, the beginning of the show has this, like the track by this band. It's called Hogni.
Oh, that's your subliminal recommendation.
Yeah, recommendation.
The band is called Hogni.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have
What's
this...
the show called? I don't think you mentioned
The
the
Great
show.
Escape. Kalki's Great Escape.
And what channel was it on again?
It's
on Hotstar.
Yeah, it's on Hotstar, but
okay.
it premiered on Fox Life.
Okay, cool.
So this song called The Right Attitude by Hogni.
Hogni,
sorry.
the right attitude.
Hogni, guys. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Is it a
again.
northeast band?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Do you want me to check?
No, it's okay.
But
Guys, check it out for yourself.
Yes.
Hogni, it does sound like a Northeast
Yeah.
band. Yeah,
But it's beautiful. The show is beautiful. The visuals are beautiful. The way it's interspersed with music, and as it progresses, the relationship with the father is just...
So are they only like going to these places to check out everything, like the culture and all, everything?
Yes,
there?
yes.
Or not just the food, or not just a particular
No,
thing?
they actually stay with the locals. Kalki plays with the locals. Kalki performs with performing like a company, like a troupe. Yeah.
Okay.
Does
So
she
it's-
get recognized when she's doing all of this?
No. So
Okay.
when she starts off in the first episode, they have a problem with the inner line permit.
Okay.
Okay, so she gets recognized after she makes a few calls, and she gets. But yeah, she doesn't get recognized, especially in the first episode.
Okay.
But yeah, I think in certain places, I'm sure that she. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Got
So
it.
that's The Great Escape on Hotstar, right?
Yes.
Oh, f***ing awesome, dude.
Kalki's Great
Awesome,
Escape.
dude. Okay.
Kalki's Great Escape on Hotstar.
Okay, cool.
Why not
Kalki's Great
Kalki and her dad's Great Escape? Why is it only Kalki's Great
Because
Escape?
the dad is a side character.
Okay.
Because it's not an escape for daddy. Okay, fine. That was Rutika's recommendation. Thank you so much. Abbas.
Yes, so I'm recommending a Netflix original film that released, I think, a week ago.
Yes.
It's called Dolomite Is My Name.
Yes.
I enjoyed this movie thoroughly. It
Yes.
stars Antariksh agreeing with me aggressively because
Yeah.
it's about comedy and comedians.
Yes.
But it's a film you can watch even if you are not
Yeah, I
someone
get it.
who's into
Correct.
comedy.
Yeah.
So the basic premise of this film is Eddie Murphy plays this man called Rudy Ray Moore, who was a real person, who was a struggling stand-up comic in the 70s. He was trying in these African-American clubs, and he couldn't quite... Rudy Ray Moore was someone who wanted to do a lot of things. Like he was trying out in comedy, he was making albums, but the radio stations wouldn't play his music. His humor was not connecting with the people. So what he did was he actually took on this stage character called Dolomite, who was roughly based on stories about this man he had heard who was really filthy and really about the masses. So essentially Dolomite's character is he's essentially a pimp. Okay, he's very decked up. He wears bling.
And
he wears
curses a lot. And talks in rhyme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and as soon as he took on this character of Dolomite, he started killing in the clubs like there's no tomorrow. Like he started selling out.
Yeah.
He started making comedy albums. That one of the few comedy albums which actually broke into the Billboard Top 25 back when comedy albums used to do like really good business.
Yeah.
So to capitalize on his fame, he decided to make a movie called Dolomite Is My Name. Or the movie was called Dolomite back in the 70s. So the second
And
half...
the movie actually exists, by the way. You
The
can
movie,
go check it
that's
out
what. The
if you
movie
want,
is real.
Correct, yeah.
So the second half of this movie, Dolomite Is My Name, tracks the production of that film. Because Rudy Ray Moore did not know anything about filmmaking. The people who he was were his childhood friends and comedians he'd picked up along the way. So they actually get a very shady side character from the guy they hire to direct is played by Wesley Snipes, and again he's based on a real person, and this person's claim to fame was he played the lift man in Rosemary's Baby.
Right. Yeah, correct. Yeah,
So if you've seen the film The Disaster Artist, right, it's about a making of a really bad film. This is the same, but it's like 100 times better. Because it is way funnier. It's a lot more funkier, and Eddie Murphy, I think, has given the best performance he's given in the last, I think, 20 years or so.
For sure, man. For sure.
Eddie Murphy, for those who are not aware, was like a powerhouse of a comedian in the 80s. In the 90s, he had a bit of a struggle. He did those Dr. Dolittle movies and all of that. And for the past 10 years or so, he's been doing these really sort of low-budget comedies, which aren't really comedies. They are like really... actually bad films, and he's been dialing in his performances. But for this one, you can see he's bringing his A game. He's in every scene of the movie. He's giving his all, and it just shows his admiration for Rudy Ray Moore, the real person he's
Very
based
true,
on.
man.
So Dolomite, the film in the 70s, actually became a cult hit.
Yeah.
It was one of those films that was so bad that it was good.
Yeah.
Like people used to come just to laugh their ass off in the theaters. So it's about the making of that film and how Rudy Ray Moore pretty much made it himself. And halfway through the movie, he realized that it's not a very great movie, so let me infuse as much humor I can.
correct.
There's a very funny scene where he has to shoot a sex scene. And everybody is expecting them to be romantic, but he knows it's going to be funny, so he plays it as a comedy. So there's a lot of cameos in this film. Chris Rock does a cameo. Snoop Dogg does a cameo. So if there's a African American artist, comedian,
also some really great actors. Keegan-Michael Key's in the movie.
Keegan-Michael Key, again, he plays a great role. Does very well. So Dolomite is my name. It's a short movie. It's under 2 hours. I personally think Eddie Murphy should get the Best Actor Oscar for this, but Oscars don't really reward comedies as much.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know if he'll get it, but
also Eddie Murphy is coming back into stand-up. I think this is like his big return to pop, whatever you call movies and the entertainment industry.
He's going to be hosting Saturday Night Live to promote the movie as well.
Really?
That's amazing.
When? Coming?
Yeah, 21st of December or something.
Done,
Eddie Murphy. He
He
actually recently was on Kimmel again to promote the movie, and he said he'll be bringing back some of his SNL characters. So
nice.
Now we know what Antariksh is going to do on the weekend.
So James Brown's hot tub might be coming.
So
the hot tub.
like the tickets for that show are already sold out. Like the who's who of Hollywood and journalists want to be there because Eddie Murphy's
like in the
big
audience
return.
At Saturday Night Live.
In the audience at Saturday Night Live.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah,
That is
so
the dream,
I mean,
man.
watch it for Eddie Murphy. Watch it for the. I would have been happy if it was just Eddie Murphy doing his thing.
Yeah, agreed.
But the movie itself is also
Very
really good. So
Very
Dolomite is my name. It's on Netflix streaming right now.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's a very fun movie.
And it's not in that long.
It's not that long. Under 2 hours.
2 hours.
If you're someone who's into films, who likes the 70s, who likes R&B. So Dolomite is actually known as the godfather of rap because he used to do his comedy in rhymes.
In rhymes, yeah.
So he's one of the idea of a thug comedian with a lot of bling and rhyming actually comes from
I imagine Cat Williams' character is so like you can tell is like the inspiration
very much
is very clear
from that. So check it out. It's called Dolomite is my name, and that's my recommendation.
Yeah, and I would second the recommendation as well. But doesn't count as my recommendation because my recommendation.
So Kalki's Great Escape has 8 episodes.
Oh wow!
Oh, cool.
You just remembered that while I was talking about Dolomite.
I've been trying to. No, I remember it because I've been trying to remember it, and then eventually it came to me.
Dolomite is just one movie, guys.
But 2 movies if you watch the original Dolomite.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you like Eddie Murphy, watch all of his specials.
So actually, during the end credits of the film, they do play clips of the original film.
Dude, they're
which
like
is funny.
very, very funny. Yeah, very funny.
Yeah.
The faster, man, faster. Yeah, that part is that funny. Yeah, that funny. Anyway,
Antariksh is like, can that be my recommendation too?
that's a great recommendation. I watched the movie over the last 2 days.
I know,
and
but
I
Antariksh
thoroughly loved it.
really, you should have seen Deep, our sound engineer, when Antariksh shouted faster, because he got really scared. He was just like his eyes went all big.
I think he's just afraid he'll have to rehear this in post. And like, oh shit, there go my ears again. Alright, moving on to my recommendation.
Yes.
I would like to recommend a podcast. The podcast is called Doug Loves Movies. Have either of you heard of this? I think I've told you about this.
Did hear an episode a long time ago, but I just never got into it.
Okay, fair enough.
Not because I didn't like it, I just never followed up.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. And it's like you have to understand what the podcast is about. Because so basically it's a movie trivia podcast. Hosted by Doug Benson. Doug Benson is a famous enough comedian. He hosts like some 4 different podcasts.
He's famous enough.
I mean, he's not super famous.
He's famous
not
enough.
super famous. He's famous enough. Like he'll sell out like his theaters and whatever.
Got it.
He's just a fun fact. He's like a marijuana enthusiast, and
of course.
he previously had made a movie called Super High Me.
Which I've heard about this.
a month long. He didn't eat any food. He just smoked marijuana.
Wow.
You're saying wow. Like that's the dream.
What was the conclusion that he came to? Like what? How?
That you can survive on it. I guess.
Okay.
I got too high while watching the movie, so I couldn't finish it. Is the dilemma that movie goes through. Anyway, coming back to Doug Loves Movies, it's a movie trivia podcast where Doug Benson invites his say comedian friends or actor friends. Like he's in the industry, he lives in LA, so a lot of these people are just around and free on a night where he's recording, right? So it's a show where these guys will come. There'll be a panel of say three other people. It can be comedians again, comedians, actors, actresses as well, and he'll play games with them with some level of audience participation. Where so audiences, they love Doug Benson. Like his audience loves him, like adores him. They'll have like inventive name tags and. Whoever wins, so that there'll be like a gift bag.
But what are the games like?
Yeah, so I'll just tell you. So whoever wins, basically, if the comedian is playing the game, they'll be playing for someone from the audience. So basically, anything the comedian wins, if they win the game, everything
the audience
in the gift bag goes to the audience. Yeah. Games are like really cool games. So one of them is called Build the Title. We can try playing this right now actually. Build the title is basically, so I'll say a movie title and you have to build on that title with another movie title.
Hey, wow.
So I'm just gonna make something up right now. So say I something like The Great Escape is, say if it was a movie's name, it sounds like a movie's name, right? So The Great Escape. Now the next, say Abbas is the next person in line. You either have to think of a movie which ends with the.
Okay.
So it'll be like Damn the Great Escape.
Okay.
And then, or if it's, or you can also start a movie from Escape, like Damn the Great Escape Room. You know what I mean?
Got
so
it.
then you keep continuing.
Got it.
Until you can continue. Sometimes these become like
really long names.
Really long names. And then you have to, the part of the challenge is just saying it again and again. So the next person has to say it again. And it's really fun. So that's one game.
Is this a podcast which has like it's called the Leonard Martin game?
Leonard Martin game. I was just going to come to that. That was the third game I was going to describe. The second game is another really fun game that we should play at some point. It will be a fun IVM likes game to play also. It's called How Much Do You Think This Made? It's so basically shitty movies, like bad movies, and he'll throw out a movie, say Batman and Robin.
Please, let's get Bollywood films into this.
Yeah, we can.
I really don't trust the Bollywood figures that they give out.
That's true, man.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
That kills that idea.
Short it down.
True, yeah.
So, but depending on how close or how far they are,
like how close you are without going over.
Okay,
Price is Right rules.
Got it.
Yeah. So, and the third game and the main game, the headlining game, you call it, is called the Leonard Maltin game. Leonard Maltin is
one of the oldest film critics of all time.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he has basically reviewed almost every movie.
Yeah, he was like the internet before the internet. He used to write these really fat. They used to be called Leonard Maltin yearbooks, which was.
You've actually checked them out?
I actually have 2 or 3 copies.
What
They're
are
like
you
really
saying?
fat tomes. Every film that he reviewed throughout the year, he used to release it at the end of the year as a compilation.
Yeah, a volume.
And before people had internet, that's what they used to refer to see who the film, what the film was about, who starred in it. And he used to give star rating.
Yeah, he's
to
acclaimed.
All the films.
He's very, very acclaimed.
I think during every IVM likes episode, I every time I realize Abbas is very old. Every time he gives these.
I mean, Leonard Maltin. Movie guide is like a. If you're a movie fan, it's very common that you would know this.
Okay.
Also, previously I have recommended his and his daughter's podcast, Maltin Loves Movies, on this show.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard that episode. But
so that is basically Maltin Loves Movies came up about because of Doug Loves Movies.
Really?
Yeah, because Leonard Maltin has been on
Doug Loves Movies a lot of times.
multiple times, and it's always fun.
Him and his daughter,
he's the worst at that game.
Really?
It's the funniest
but
thing.
What is the game?
So the game is. 2 of you, okay? 2 of you are playing, say. The game is that I will give you an option of year. Okay, fine. First, there'll be an option of categories. And there are like some really inventive names of categories. Like, I remember one was Sad Max is a category name. And these are movies where Mel Gibson's wife dies.
Wow.
So Sad Max. Like, instead of Mad Max.
Of course.
Really, really funny.
Yeah.
There was one called Dolphin Lundgren, which was movies with either dolphins or Dolph Lundgren in them.
Of course.
So yeah, the like really fun titles that come out.
So, but then he gives you a category.
So I'll tell you, he gives you a category.
Yeah.
You choose the category. Say you chose Sad Max. Okay.
Right.
So I'll give you a Mel Gibson movie in which his wife died. Now I'll tell you. Okay. Now this is a Mel Gibson movie from the year 1994.
Right.
Okay. and he let her give you 3 lines from the Leonard Maltin review.
Got it.
And these lines are usually not too helpful. Okay, they're terrible clues.
Kind of vague.
Yeah, terrible clues.
Right.
And so we'll give you like 3 lines from the thing. Say this movie is fast paced, and it has parts of humor, but otherwise not convincing enough. Say that's the review. Okay.
Right.
Leonard Maltin lists 10 names. That means there are 10 actors in the movie that he lists.
Right.
There might actually be more, there might actually be less, but whatever. He lists 10 actors in this movie. And how many names can you guess this in? So that means how many names will I have to tell you of those 10 actors for you to guess which movie this was in?
Got it.
So now you can start bidding. Now there's a bidding war.
Okay.
Okay, so Abbas will say, I can guess it in 9 names.
Okay.
Rutika will like, no, I know this much. I'm pretty sure I can guess it in 5 names. Okay. Now, but if I give you the names, so basically now you can challenge her. Okay, yeah, I don't think you can name this movie, so name this movie. So now Rutika, I will give her 5 names, but 5 names from the bottom. Not from the top up.
Not the build actors.
So not the lower actors.
Yeah.
I will give you the 5 names from the lowest actors coming up, and you'll have to guess based on that.
Got it.
And so it becomes like a really fun game, because sometimes like some people know how to play this game really well.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll go to like 0 names. It'll go to minus names.
Yeah.
Minus names is when you have to give the movie name and the top billed actor.
Got it.
And the top billed, if you go -2, -3.
Right.
I've seen John Hamm go -3, -4.
John Hamm from Mad Men?
Yeah, John Hamm.
Was on the podcast?
Dude, some great, if I can just recommend like 3 episodes of this podcast.
Right.
One is, since we already talked about the John Hamm episode, on this episode is John Hamm, Paul Rudd, John Mulaney, Mike Birbiglia, Morgan Spurlock, he's a documentary filmmaker, and these 5 guys in one episode. Okay, and it's hilarious because turns out John Mulaney had to, an hour into the episode, he had to be going for another dinner, and he literally on the podcast cancels plans. Saying, so they ask him, so why are you cancelling plans? Like, well, I thought I was having dinner with famous people, but have you seen this one? So it's really funny. So that's one episode. The second episode is one of my favorite episodes of any podcast ever. Is Douglas Movies. I'll just tell you the exact episode. It was released on May 10th, 2013. It's season 6 of Douglas Movies. It's with Mark Maron, Kumail Nanjiani, and 2 other comedians called DC Pearson and Megan Urenzo.
Okay.
It's the funniest thing because of Mark Maron and Kumail Nanjiani's just back and forth. Friction, yeah. Because they don't really
get along.
Yeah, they don't get along properly. And there's some racist comments that Mark tries to pass off as like Indian racist jokes, but they're all like really funny.
Right.
And then an unbelievable moment happens, which I don't want to spoil.
Okay.
And you'll just be like, damn, I cannot believe I just heard that moment happen in my life. So really, really cool. And the third episode is just there was an episode with Edgar Wright, Nick Frost, and Simon Pegg, all 3 of them on one episode.
The trio.
Cornetto trio, yeah. So that was a really good episode as well.
Got it.
So please check out
Rutika's
Douglas
like,
Movies.
who are these people?
Yeah. Like, कौन से एरे गरे न थुक रहे?
Simon Pegg, I'm sure you know. I mean, if you see his face, you'll know.
Yeah, Simon Pegg definitely, because of the Mission Impossible movies.
Mission Impossible, and he's been in a lot of things.
Yeah, correct.
There are a lot of people in the world जिनके अगर मैंने चेहरे देखे तो I would know their names.
Like Kalki's dad.
Yeah.
Man, I always feel I have great recommendations, but I'm terrible at explaining them.
I agree.
Thanks, I know.
Yeah, he took almost 20 minutes to explain
what?
one.
20 minutes the entire episode, 20 minutes long.
But your passion came across.
Yeah.
Cool.
Antariksh.
It's
It's kind of like your comedy. You have the best jokes, but
Explain.
Oh, cool.
dot.
Okay,
That was just a dig, guys. Antariksh is a very funny comedian.
That's a dig, right? Okay.
There was a silence when he said that.
Nobody bought it.
You know what that silence was like? When Antariksh cracks a joke. Now it's just becoming a roast. We should take a break.
Thank you guys. On this insulting note, we'll take a break and we'll be back in a jiffy.
Cool.
Bye.
Hi everybody, welcome to another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, I really don't know what to tell you at this point in time. I mean, I'm so disappointed in you. Please go follow us. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So this week on Cyrus Says, Cyrus is joined by Ramya Ramamurthy and Varun Deshpande of the Good Food Institute. They explain what plant-based meat is, what will be the next food revolution, and the objective behind their podcast, Feeding 10 Billion. That's not all you're going to see of Ramya this week. Ramya is also on the Paperback Podcast with Racheta and Satyajit. She discusses her book Rebuild and points out how brands have tackled situation of crisis. Guys, we have some really exciting news this week too. Our show, Advertising is Dead, has reached 50 episodes. This special occasion was marked with a live recording at the Glitch office. We had some really great guests for this episode as well. Rohan Joshi, the comedian, was there, as was actor, social media influencer, and co-host of Agla Station Adulthood, Ritasha Rathore. The episode drops on Tuesday, November 5th. Make sure you check it out. On our Kannada podcast, Thale Harate, Pawan and Surya sit down to talk about how Karnataka must think about its future so that the state can deliver prosperity and well-being to all its residents. On Simplified, the gang is back for part 4 of the 150th episode. That's a long 150th episode they got going there. Join Chuck and Naren as they break down the dying question of why is Sion called Shiv, the Easter Islands, Instagram influencer ecosystems, and a whole lot more. On Mr. and Mrs. Binge Watch, Janice and Anirudh continue their teen drama series, and this time they're talking about The Politician and Dear White People. Is John McClane the essential everyman, or is he a goddamn all-American hero? On the Geek Fruit podcast, Tejas is joined by friend and roommate Abhimanyu as they discuss the Die Hard franchise. And with that, let's get you on with your show.
Hey, and welcome back, guys. Joining me again are still Abbas and Rutika.
Still.
Damn it.
Haven't changed a bit.
Yeah. We're getting to the second half of the show. We would like to talk about actors, like rabbit hole actors. These are actors whose work we really appreciated because of one project or one movie that we saw them in. And because of that movie or project, we wanted to check out everything that they'd ever done and check out as much of their work as we possibly could.
Yes.
So Abbas, would you like to start out? Who's your actor?
Yeah, so the one actor who I saw in one film and then wanted to see everything he was in is actually a very famous name.
Okay.
Man who dominated the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, is it Terminator 2?
Yeah, Terminator 2 was the film. So
Nice.
this was I think 96 or 97 when my uncle had just bought a home theater system, back when getting a home theater system was like a big thing.
Yeah.
So he would invite the family over to watch a famous film every Friday or every other Friday. So this one time he just wanted to show his the cousins and nephews a big Hollywood film. So he put in Terminator 2. He actually wanted to show us the first Terminator because that was the one he saw as a young person.
You know, I was literally going to ask you this right now.
Right.
That what did you see first, 2 or 1?
I saw 2 first.
I saw 2 first.
But he couldn't locate the first Terminator car DVD or something like that. So he could get his hands on Terminator 2.
Yeah.
So we saw Terminator 2 and I was blown away. I was like, this is like the best movie ever. I will never see anything better than this.
Yeah.
And who the freak is this guy? This robot who is still so... He's playing a robot, but he's still charming in that movie, right? Who's this freaking hunk of metal who is so stoic and so stone, but I still want to see everything that he's in.
Yeah. The James Cameron movie, by the way.
Yeah, James Cameron. That's when you realize it's not the actor, it's actually the filmmaker. So, but then the next thing I know, I watched all the Conan movies that he was in.
Yeah,
I saw even Jingle All the Way.
I love Jingle All the Way.
I don't know why that film gets so much hate.
Yeah,
True Lies, again another James Cameron movie that he collaborated on. And then even like the late 90s, he made some really shitty movies. Like there was this one which had a lot of Christian analogy. End of Days, The Sixth Day.
He was also in.
Have you watched this movie called Junior?
Yeah,
Junior, Twins. The weird comedies that he made.
What Kindergarten Cop?
Yeah. So like
also did he? I don't know if it's Red Skies.
Red Skies I haven't seen. No.
Oh, Red Skies is a movie where it's on an alternate planet, like it's on Mars.
No, that's not Red Skies. That is that's Total Recall. Thank you,
that's not
Deep.
Total Recall.
That's Total Recall.
No, there's one with like mutated people, dude. They have like things covering their faces and weird growths on their faces and shit.
I don't know what film you're talking about, but Total Recall is the film that's based on Mars.
Okay,
but yeah, I saw Total Recall as well. So
no, Red Heat. Sorry, Red Heat.
Red Heat. Oh yeah, Red Heat as well.
Yes. Red Heat.
So yeah, even the Predator movies. So anything
Predator
that had Arnold in it, I would watch it. So I've seen films like The Sixth Day and End of Days in a theater because Arnold was in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my first rabbit hole. Even actually to this day, like I'm definitely going to watch the new Terminator movie, even though I know it's going to be shitty. I'm going to watch it because it has Arnold.
Did you watch Escape Plan?
I unfortunately did. Yes.
Dude, I liked it. It was entertaining, dude. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not the same as it was, as Arnold was, but even to this day, if Arnold is in a movie, I'm going to watch it. That
also,
was my...
I saw this, this great movie, dude. There's like recent only, like in the last 3-4 years, with Johnny Knoxville was there in this. It's basically like this this thief or this criminal has escaped from jail, like this invader has escaped from jail, and he's driving a car all the way to the Mexican border, and the last town on the border is the town where Arnold Schwarzenegger's character is the sheriff.
Okay.
So it's up to him.
The Last Stand.
Yeah. Love the movie, dude. It's great. It is great. Pretty good. So yeah, please check out Last Stand also. Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's really cool.
He was my first rabbit hole.
Also, my first celebrity crush, it turns out.
Yeah, more or less.
Call back to 2 episodes back. Celebrity crush. Rutika, yes.
So I am. I watched Aladdin. Okay.
The animated Aladdin?
Yes, and I
And
love.
you saw everything that Jasmine was in?
And even Aladdin also. No, so in Aladdin, I was very intrigued by the genie. Okay, and I knew that there was someone called Robin Williams, but
Wow.
there was a friend who told me that there's some great movies by where he's playing the lead role, and that's how I stumbled upon. Dead Poet Society and Good Morning Vietnam and Jumanji.
Wait, you saw Dead Poet Society as a kid?
Not as a kid.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
No, but like my first introduction to him was through Aladdin and Flubber. Flubber is another movie that I again watched and I really enjoyed.
Loved it as a kid.
Loved it as a kid.
Watched it a couple of years ago. Doesn't hold up.
Why do you think it doesn't hold up?
Because like I said before we started recording, it's one of those films that I don't think it needed a full length movie. If it was like a 40-minute episode of a TV show or something,
You would have watched it.
No, now I would have been, as a kid I loved watching the entire movie.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, it's okay.
Like,
So if it's on
could have been
TV,
a funnier sketch, you think?
yeah, exactly. I would watch, if it's on TV, I would watch it for like a half an hour or so, but as a movie, it doesn't hold up as much as it was, as it did when you were a kid.
Possible.
Jumanji, on the other hand, still holds up.
Yeah.
It's actually a very well written movie. The original Jumanji, I haven't seen the new one with the
Well,
Rock.
I've seen only the new one, and it's
Oh,
great.
really?
It's really funny, yeah.
But the original Jumanji is also a very good. It's very well written.
Okay,
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, I mean, there are these, I was telling Abbas that there are these few movies that I keep going back to. Good Will Hunting is also one of them,
I love
actually.
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, but there are these 2 movies by Robin Williams, with Robin Williams.
Mrs.
And it's not
Doubtfire?
by, of course.
Yeah.
And although, again, I watched the Indian version of it. And
You
I
mean-
also,
you mean
I
Hindi?
love, the Hindi version of it.
The Indian version is
Actually,
there
that
would be
was-
some rip-off.
It was made in Tamil and Telugu as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kamal Hassan
Yeah.
did a great
Chachi
job.
Charsavis, yeah.
Yes.
I love Chachi Charsavis. But
Chachi Char, yeah.
either ways, I keep going back to 2 movies with Robin Williams. One is Good Morning Vietnam, and second is Dead Poet Society.
Right.
And I mean, Dead Poet Society is literally a feel-good movie for me now, because every time I feel like I need some inspiration, I go back to it. So yeah, Robin Williams created that rabbit hole for me where I couldn't really get out of it, and it broke my heart when he passed away. So
There's a movie with Robin Williams and John Travolta in it.
What?
It's called, if I'm not wrong, I think it's called Wild Hogs.
Yeah.
It's like it's a biker movie. It's a biker comedy.
I watched this.
And it's actually like just a fun watch
Right.
if you guys
Yeah.
are like bored and just
For
want something.
Robin Williams, like for me, like Rutika also, I discovered him through Aladdin. I
Okay.
watched Jumanji. In the 90s, he did a bunch of kid-friendly movies.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I rediscovered him through his stand-up. I had no
Yeah.
idea about
Again,
his stand-up.
very funny stand-up.
And then when I saw his stand-up, like, forget his stand-up, just watching him
Just
as
the
a
energy.
guest
Yeah,
on any
correct.
late-night
Dude,
talk show.
I was thinking of this Craig Ferguson. If you any fans of the Late Show with Craig Ferguson, and
I
dude,
think
damn
it was Conan or Johnny Carson or someone who said that when you had Robin Williams on, the host was always relaxed. Because he's like, I don't have to do anything. I just have to introduce Robin and he'll take over the show.
makes perfect sense.
So, yeah.
Correct. Just the amount of energy that person
Yeah.
could muster in that tiny
Yeah.
body, dude. How tall do you think he was?
Robin Williams?
Not that tall, right?
5'11"?
Oh, really? That's tall, man.
Let's Google it. Till then, why don't you tell us about your rabbit hole celebrity?
Okay, so my rabbit hole celebrity is some of you will be really excited because I'm sure there are like a lot of Indians who are huge fans of this actor. Is Jackie Chan.
Ooh, nice.
I love Jackie Chan, dude. Like literally, he is definitely my first celebrity crush. I didn't realize that's what it was because I have seen almost every single thing that he's in. But I said almost. It would have been more impactful if I said almost everything or every single thing. I don't know why I said almost everything. Anyway, this is
By the way, Robin Williams was 5'7".
He's 5'7",
Yeah.
my height. Yeah, see, not that tall. Not
No,
that
but
tall.
the very idea that, it's very difficult for us to really follow a person so much that maybe
Yeah.
we don't miss a single movie.
That's
Can
right.
I ask a question though?
Yeah.
Like, Hollywood celebrities still make like the maximum they'll make is like maybe 3 or 4 movies a year.
Yeah.
Right.
But Jackie Chan, I believe, almost like a industry unto himself. He used to make like
Yeah.
6 or 7 movies
Yeah,
a
he has,
year
correct,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
China.
Yeah.
So how?
And he used to direct a
he used
lot
to
of them.
direct, act, everything. Yeah.
There's a great video called Every Fear Painting. You've heard this channel.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
love that channel.
Yeah, so there's a video on Jackie Chan in that how to do action comedy properly,
right. Yeah, yeah.
and that's a great video.
Okay.
So anyways, like so
What was your introduction to him?
yeah, Rush Hour was the my introduction to him.
nice.
I was in school, I think in 5th or 6th standard, and I saw Rush Hour because they're coming on HBO TV, and my friends were talking about, dude, this great movie Rush Hour is coming on TV today. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna check it out, and fell in love with Jackie, fell in love with Chris Tucker also, but Jackie more, and then just started checking out everything Jackie had done, and during those days, a lot of Jackie's dubbed movies would be shown on TV.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about Jackie's dubs is he dubs his own English
Himself, yeah.
Like it's his own terrible English that he does. It's hilarious. So one of my favorite Jackie movies is Project A. It's a
Okay.
movie where so Jackie is known for his crazy stunts, right? And doing all his stunts himself. He
Yeah.
doesn't need stuntmen. He doesn't. He has people who work with him, and a lot of stunt choreography is done by him.
By himself, yeah.
A lot of the direction is done by him for action sequences and later on movies as well. So there's a movie called Project A, my favorite Jackie movie, in which he has to basically fall from hanging from the clock of a clock tower.
Right.
So he has to fall 3 stories down, and he has to fall through canopies. Like there
okay.
are two canopies on the way,
Yeah.
and those are the only things which are literally breaking his fall.
Okay.
Because otherwise it's literally the ground below. While falling down the first take, this guy falls on his neck. So he damages in his neck a bit. But this crazy person is like, no, we need one more take. He goes up, lands again badly. So if you see the movie, there are 2 different takes. So they show this him falling down twice, and there are 2 different takes each time they show it, and each time he's falling on a very weird angle on his neck. And it is just so impressive to see that this guy has so much dedication.
Basically, the guy doesn't like his neck as much.
Yeah, that's what you understand. Yeah. He doesn't like his back also. He's broken his back 10 times or something.
I think
he
Jackie Chan...
He has an injury in his head because of some fall that he took on Armor of God. He was supposed to jump from the window to a tree. That was on there, but whoever the stunt coordinator was, he didn't check out the strength of the tree properly. So in the 3rd take, the tree broke, and he just fell all the way down, and he injured his head and all. He had to be taken to the hospital. Crazy man, dude.
Jackie Chan, I
But
think,
love
would
Jackie.
have been really famous if he was around in the silent movie era. Because a lot of Chaplin, Buster Keaton, they used to do this. They used to do slapstick. They used to do
Very true.
action comedy
Very true.
through that. And they did their own stunts and
correct.
choreography.
Very
So
true.
I think,
Very true.
he would have been really big if
Yeah.
he was around there.
Very
Not
true.
that he's not big now, but like, yeah.
Are either of you Jackie Chan fans?
I won't say I'm a hardcore Jackie Chan fan, but I've seen Police Story.
Love
I've
all the
seen
Police Stories.
the
The
Shanghai
3000
Nights, Shanghai Noon
that's cool
films.
also.
They're really good.
Yeah. Owen Wilson was going to be my first recommendation for this.
Really?
By the way, yeah.
Okay.
Because again, like I watched a lot of Owen Wilson.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, correct. He's our Saif Ali Khan. But he's there.
No,
there,
you are our Saif Ali Khan.
Wow.
Hey guys!
That's Shah Rukh Khan.
But if you had to name like top 3 Jackie Chan movies, what would you say?
Project A,
like you said, yeah.
Rush Hour, because that got me into that, and I would say Rumble in the Bronx is pretty great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I would say. Yeah, top 3 Robin Williams movies. If you Dead Poets Society.
Okay, that's very hard, but okay, Dead Poet Society, of course. Good Will Hunting, 2nd. Good Morning Vietnam, probably 3rd.
Nice.
But I'm a little confused now.
That's a great list.
Yeah.
What about you, man? Ani movies?
T2, Total Recall, Twins.
Can you do your best Ani impression, please?
My Ani impression.
Yeah.
Get down.
Get down. Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
There's a Matt TV. You know the show Matt TV, right?
Yeah.
Matt TV was a great show. I used to love Matt TV. There was basically a sketch show, and they have some great Arnold Schwarzenegger sketches. If you never check them out.
Dude, you know McBain? There's a character in The Simpsons called McBain.
Okay. Who is basically Arnie?
He's actually a culmination of Arnie, Stallone, Bruce Willis, all 3 put together.
Love it.
And The Simpsons obviously debuted in 1989, back when these movies were like the thing.
Yeah, correct.
So the joke is that he's the only famous actor from Springfield,
Yeah.
and he has done these shitty low budget action movies, but they treat him like he is Robert De Niro, right? So they have scenes where he's inside the actor's studio and he's like, would you do that famous line from McBain? And he's like, let me get into the character. And then he takes like, there's a 30-second pause where the audience is, and he just says, I am McBain. And then everybody starts going, and so at times in The Simpsons, if you actually go to YouTube, The Simpsons has been running for 30 years.
Yeah.
And whenever McBain, there are short clips within the movie that they play.
Yeah.
So someone has compiled the entire thing and made the McBain movie based off of Simpsons clips together.
Wow,
So there's like a 20-minute plot from like 25 seasons of The Simpsons. Someone has compiled all the McBain clips, and like there is this weird narrative of a film which is a combination of Die Hard, Terminator, Commando, Rambo, all of them.
Correct.
So yeah,
that is so cool.
yeah.
Imagine all three of them made it to Expendables. They could have just gone McBain. Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure they must have done an episode about McBain being in the Expendables as well.
Oh yeah, how could they not have? Right? That makes perfect sense.
For sure.
Yeah.
You want to know another actor who I had after Arnie was Leonardo DiCaprio from Titanic. Like when I saw him in Titanic, I checked out his other films. But the thing is, Leonardo's filmography, even before he was really big, is like really weird. He did like Man in the Iron Mask, The Beach, Romeo and Juliet.
Correct,
like not your pretty boy movies that he was known for.
He's a child actor. He was a child actor.
But even the adult roles that he took, like if you saw him in Titanic, you would expect him to have done all these pretty boy movies, which wasn't the case. So that's why I never really continued watching it, because as a kid, those movies were way too mature for me to get a hold of.
That makes sense.
But Arnie was exactly what I wanted him to be.
Dude, I literally watched Predator like about a month back again, and it still holds up dude. So
because I think those movies knew what they wanted to do, and they did it. There was no.
Who's the director of Predator?
Shane Black.
Yes, the Iron Man 3 and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Lethal Weapon, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
And the other guys. The other guys is a great movie also. Yeah. Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. So nice. What else do we talk about?
I also have a Hindi actor here.
Oh, please, yes.
Really?
There's Irfan Khan.
Nice.
Okay. But have you seen everything Irfan has been in? Because he's been in some shitty things as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But I think, maybe I've been selective, but I feel like he has put me into
And how were you introduced to Irfan Khan?
So I, again, actually no.
Like, when did you fall in love with him? Lunchbox or before that?
Before
Way back.
Lunchbox.
Again, just a testament to how old I am. He played the father of a character in the show called Banegi Apni Baat in 93 or 94.
Okay, wow.
That was my introduction to Irfan Khan.
And you noticed him there? Or you were just like,
he got his break in television, and he used to do these offbeat TV shows. Like there was this thing called Star Bestsellers, which is where a lot of these guys, Anurag Kashyap, Vikramaditya Motwane, all these guys, Star Bestsellers was like each week was a new story.
Yeah.
And each week was like a 50-minute episode, and it was like a short film, you can say 50-minute film every week.
Right.
And a lot of these theatre actors were cast in Star Bestsellers.
Yeah.
So I came to know him through that. He used to always pop into these in these really not really but kind of arty TV shows, and then he started doing some movies and all. So yeah,
that brings me to an interesting question. Like throughout our childhoods, as we've grown up, we are like, by default, we have some actors who are always like prevalent in the space that like on TV or in movies. They're always there.
Yeah.
So by default, we have been checking out certain actors all our lives without even not necessarily having to follow their career.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just by default, he's just following their career.
Yeah. I mean, so. I think those actors I see them as like they are handed down to you.
Yeah.
Like, for example, of course, I used to really like Shah Rukh Khan as a kid, but that was because I had an elder sister who used to love Shah Rukh Khan. Right? So by default, you grow up watching your sister idolize this actor, so you start liking him as well. Similarly for Amitabh Bachchan and Dilip Kumar, my parents adored them so much, and they would make us watch those movies of theirs because they saw it when they were young, right? So that kind of, it's almost that legacy is handed down to you, that we loved this, now you should love this as well. Which is fine.
But also like that answer could be applied to almost every big Indian actor.
Yeah, more or less.
From everyone, from Shah Rukh Khan till Ajay Devgan, everyone we have seen all our lives.
True.
Like, so those classic actors are just that, dude. They're never going to go away from
but like she said, Irfan Khan was someone again
who broke out.
Maybe our generation or a half a generation before us, these guys made their name through that. Like, we'll pass it on to next generations of ours. Like, have you seen Irfan Khan?
Yeah, correct. That's the name we will be passing on. Like him, Nawaz, and all that.
Maybe.
Yeah, and these are, I think these are actors that actually, I think this is where the difference between somebody probably who's done theatre and has probably a background of, looking at acting as a kind of study is.
Yeah.
Because, of course, all these Khans also did study acting.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Irfan Khan, he actually really knew how to get into the skin of a character. So I feel like the reason, I was introduced to Irfan Khan through Maqbool. Then it reached Ye Sali Zindagi.
Yes.
Then it went on to Lunchbox is the very contemporary kind of film. But there was another film which I have again. Blackmail is one.
Okay.
Blackmail is another film.
But that's also very new.
Yeah, it's also very new. But these are films
So
that
also Irfan has done some
Pan Singh Tomar.
Yeah,
I was trying to remember Pan Singh Tomar. Yeah. So all of these films made me feel like Irfan is a class apart.
Irfan was great in Piku also. If you guys saw
Piku is
yeah.
And I also now ended up watching Kareeb Kareeb Single because Irfan was in it.
Okay.
So he is one of those actors that I want to watch because he is in a film.
So
he's also a very young Irfan Khan. I think is in this Saeed Akhtar Mirza film called.
I don't know if you guys know this. Irfan Khan has done a few short movies also. Movies, and they are on YouTube. One of them has Nawaz in it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What is this film?
I forgot the names of the short films. You can just check out Irfan Khan short films on YouTube, and they show up. I remember one where he's a police officer, and I think Nawaz's character plays some criminal or something.
Bypass.
Is that there are multiple? I think at least 2 or 3 other.
Yeah.
That film is called Naseem. It came out in 1995.
The one you're talking about?
Yeah, he's really young in that. So
cool. Who's directed by again?
Saeed Mirza.
Saeed Mirza, okay.
Yeah. So a lot of these NFDC films, because he was from NFDC, from National the Film School.
Yeah.
You'll find a lot of directors who've made films from there. He's always more or less in most of the films.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Nice. So we found out that the actor Abbas has followed the career of a lot is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Rutika's actor was Robin Williams, and mine was Jackie Chan.
The Hindi variation of that one, Hindi answer for that is Irfan Khan. So
Hindi answer for that. And your second actor was again?
Leonardo
DiCaprio, correct.
Yeah.
And mine was Jackie Chan. And Owen Wilson, because by extension of Shanghai Noon.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's nice. So guys, this was a very fun episode of IVM Likes. Thank you so much for joining us. And
please also let us know if you have any actors that you feel are rabbit hole actors in the form of comments under our videos, so that we can have an interesting discussion about it.
Correct. Also, just an announcement: the Asia Podcast Awards are going on. You guys should really go and 4 of our podcasts are nominated for the best podcast in Asia.
Yay!
So please go and vote for our podcasts.
Yes, please.
It's a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah.
You want to name the shows?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Paisa Vaisa, Shunya One.
Yeah.
Vartalab.
Yeah.
Is in entertainment. I think Vartalab is in entertainment. And Tech Careers in the New. That's in technology.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Those are the podcasts which are nominated for Asia Podcast Awards. So please go to asiapodcastawards.com and sign up for your free Asia Podcast Awards pass. There'll be talks about
it's going to be a live stream, so you'll be able to log in and watch the show if you have if you register for that. So,
and last few days of voting is still left, so please vote for us. Thank you so much, guys. You guys have been lovely, and my producers have been lovely also. Abbas, thank you. Rutika, thank you. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Rutika, where can we follow you online?
You can follow me on Instagram. My handle is thatgirlinside_the_library.
Okay. And Abbas, where can you follow you?
You can follow me at Abbas Momin on Twitter and AbbasMomin88 on Instagram.
Okay, and guys, you can follow me on Instagram at Antariksh T and on Twitter at Antariksh Tak, but I'm mostly active on Instagram, so Instagram it is. Thank you, guys. See you.
Bye.
See you.
How many times have you caught yourself Googling stuff on health and wondering if it's the right information? How many times have you heard different health experts give opposing views, which has only left you confused? There are rising cases of cancer, heart, diabetes, stress, and autoimmune diseases. Meet the patients and the experts who paved the path of true healing. Join me, Rachna Chachi, cancer nutrition coach and nutritional therapist on Heal and Hearty. I take you through my own journey of recovery from an incurable disease and the journey of so many others who healed only via nutrition and holistic healing. Find the answers you seek for what's good for your health and what's good for your soul. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. Don't forget your date with good health.
रिश्ते में तो हम तुम्हारे पॉडकास्ट लगते हैं. नाम है फुटबॉल शुटबॉल.
Presenting Football Shortball, a show about three friends discussing our favorite game over a beer. Sometimes 3, maybe even 5. Hi, I'm Shiva, and with me are my two sidekicks, Gaurav Sapre and Kartika here.
Sidekick? You mean like Batman's Robin or Van Persie Robin?
No, I mean like Alexis Sanchez, but with a little more skill than just playing the piano.
Ha! Just shows how the best players at Arsenal are mere bench warmers at United.
Oh, thank you, Ayer. But you're a Fulham supporter, so whenever you say anything to support me, I question my beliefs.
Just like how Griezmann would say, एक बार मैंने जो decision ले लिया, तो मैं अपने आप की भी नहीं सुनता.
Banter aside, we will talk match reports, transfer rumors, top controversies, fantasy football picks, and so much more. So grab a beer and tune in to Football Shortball every Wednesday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts.